The views and opinions expressed on Deeply Upsetting are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, associated brands, properties, or businesses. Listener discretion is advised. Please keep your hands inside the ride at all times.
Welcome back to Minor Upsets.
Yay!
Yay! It's the Deeply Upsetting off week.
Off week, so we're doing a little teeny tiny little mini-sode for you.
Just a BB about one of the things that's just really getting our gourd. I doubted that as I started saying, getting your gourd? Is that a thing?
In the entire time I've known you, there's never been a point where I've considered you'd say getting my gourd.
Is it a thing though?
I think so. I think if you're like 86 years old, you can say getting my gourd.
Ooh, this is the time to tell you.
That's the era, the generation that dealt with a lot of gourd theft. So
getting your goose?
Getting goose makes way more sense.
Yeah.
But no, also.
Jesus Christ.
Why does getting a goose make more sense than getting a gourd?
Well, it's more livestock thievery rather than produce thievery.
Produce thievery is just like
it's annoying.
People stop on the side of the road, grab a corn. It's just a thing that happens. But it's rarer that somebody will be like, well, this sheep is mine now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Anywho, I don't even know.
But a goose belongs to no one.
That's so true.
Like, even if you think you own a goose, you don't.
Goose owns you.
Yeah.
Geese choose violence on a daily basis.
They wake up every morning and choose violence. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Respect, honestly. I wish that I was more like that.
All it takes is just every morning waking up and making that decision yourself before your feet even hit the floor. You think to yourself, today, I choose violence.
Well, unfortunately for you, you are the first person I see every day. So I guess you'll be the first to know on the day that I choose violence.
I mean, I'm already expecting that you're going to smother me in my sleep at some point. So,
but then I would have to get up before you.
Oh, see, that's what's protecting me is me getting up before you.
Yep. You get up like 15 minutes before me every day.
It can be 2 minutes as long as it's just enough time.
True. I'm not like going to get up before my alarm to smother you. That's so much work. I need my precious sleep and my energy to smother you. I need all of it.
Any day that you smother me in the morning, it's going to be a pretty long day for you.
It is.
So,
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't done it yet. Any day now.
Any day.
Whenever I channel my inner goose, I suppose.
When I see you going into the kitchen and grabbing a steak knife by your mouth and like mumbling like peace was never an option. I'm like, okay.
You know that
I know it's
things
goose
are
time.
getting weird. Anywho, after that completely normal going off the rails in the first 30 seconds of the episode, welcome back. The purpose of this show is to let you know the things that have been truly getting our goose, getting our gander,
there it is.
Getting our gourds. And,
why not? Fuck it,
yeah.
Gourds too.
There's plenty of shit in the world right now that's deeply upsetting, as it were, and so we're just picking the things that aren't going to like make you cry. They're just going to make you cringe.
We're
probably.
not doing the like world altering, really depressing stuff. We're doing the more like fucking really kind of conversations.
Yeah, and for instance, today we're going to talk about how Jeff Bezos went to space.
He shipped himself to low orbit.
He really did.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about it. It's just one of those situations. But first, let me just give you a quick intro. Our show is deeply upsetting. Like I said, this is the off week. My name is Amy Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
If there's anything that's driving you crazy, if you have any sort of gander getting topics of conversation that you'd like to share with us, I'm so sorry. You can send it to us in a bunch of different ways, or if you can just like stop listening to this show, that's fine too. But if you actually want to continue listening and participating for some reason, go ahead and reach out to us.
See, I don't think they're going to stop listening. I think it's like if you look outside and you see the barn door closed and you're like, I don't want to go out there, but I kind of need to go out. Like in 20 years, I'm going to think like what was in the barn. Like I have to go explore it. That's this show. If they stopped right now, 2 days from now, they'd be like, I need to. Do they talk about geese more? Like, what does this have to do with, what was the actual subject? It wasn't geese, I don't think.
See, that's what people want, but I get off on being withholding. So we're done talking about geese forever.
Never, ever a geese or a gander.
Neither. We're anti. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, how to reach out.
Yeah, how to reach out.
Oh my God. Okay, so you can reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter. It's at Deeply Upsetting. You can send us an email, geeksundertheinfluence@gmail.com, put deeply upsetting in the subject line, or you can leave us a voicemail or send us a text at 804-505-4484, which is 804-505-4GUI.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about Bezos. He went to space.
He went to
Not
he
space,
went to
space.
like if you say you got an A, but you got like a 90, like you barely, like, and even then the teacher's like, I kind of let one slide that you shouldn't have gotten credit for. That's low orbit.
Yeah.
He barely got there.
Yep.
So that's Bezos doing the bare minimum.
Also, how long ago was it that he and his wife got divorced? Because this screams midlife crisis, just got a divorce.
Yeah, if you have $200 million instead of getting a fucking convertible, you go to low orbit.
Yep.
Yeah. In a dick rocket.
Okay, that's a really important thing to talk about is the way that rocket looked. Did nobody care about the appearance of it? Was that just like not a factor? Was someone trying to fuck over Jeff Bezos, which I hope is the case?
Bald Man in a Dick Rocket is my favorite Moby album. There's no way the engineers looked at that and didn't think, wow, that's a giant dick.
No possible way.
It's got a mushroom tip. I mean, it's not like a rocket is phallic shaped. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But most dicks aren't like pointy like a fucking needle at the end, you know? This one literally has a mushroom tip.
And two tiny little balls on either
Two little
side.
balls.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's insane.
I just want to know the story. I want to be in the meeting where they're like, yeah, looks cool, looks masculine in a way, right? Like very cool and masculine.
I wonder if maybe Jeff Bezos knew it looked like a dick the whole time, like that was his intention, and it was a test of loyalty where he was waiting to see if anybody would mention that it looked like a dick, and nobody did. Like
That's
nobody
how Jeff
brought it up.
Bezos finds out he has no real friends in the world.
It's just yes men.
It's just yes men.
Like,
he should
Jeff,
have
that's a
launched
great
them
design.
into space
Right.
and stayed on the ground.
Well, he did the test run, so now he knows it works. So there's going to be a lot of Amazon employees in low orbit,
Yep.
just floating around.
And can we talk about the 18-year-old who's like rich dad bought his way onto the fucking dick spaceship? Because come on. Are you serious?
That kid at least once on the trip, when he was told to like buckle up, and he's like, do you know who I am?
Right.
Do you know who my dad is? At one point, at least.
And Jeff Bezos was like, are you kidding me?
It wasn't even a response to anything. He was just like, do you know who my dad is? Because he was scared. And that was just his natural reaction, was to just blurt that out.
Can you call him?
Can you call him? Call my dad.
We're only going to be in space for like 10 minutes. I'm scared. I've never left my sprawling mansion before.
I want that rocket in jail. He scared my son.
I trusted you, Bezos. Jeff is like, fucking why?
Jesus. Like, I wouldn't get this shit from the Virgin guy.
Oh, yeah. He just went to space recently, too,
That's
right?
just lousy with space. I'm thinking about this.
Lousy
is like,
with space.
This is the saddest, weirdest space. Like, our parents got to see the USSR
right
versus, you know, the United States space race where there's like fucking dogs and satellites being shot into space, and they're like, fucking people, time to go. That ended with man walking on the moon.
Yep.
It was really fucking cool. We get the guy that owned the Virgin Megastore.
Yep.
And the guy that like works his employees to death, sending us low cost stuff to our front porch. That's the space race. That's what we're running into now.
It's not cool at all. It's not sexy.
It makes me think of that scene in Fight Club in the movie where they're talking about that, like all the stuff in space is just going to be like named after businesses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's even a thing in like the Alien universe, the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, that there's no governments anymore. Space is just owned by corporations. And I'm like, yeah, because governments aren't going to fund space exploration like private business is going to fund space.
Right.
So it's going to be like the Amazon moon, and like they're going to name stuff after themselves, like the crater of Bezos crater, and it's going to be a little fucking like moon station that he has.
Oh no, definitely. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I like to think that maybe Jeff Bezos actually has somewhat of a sense of humor and realized that it was just like a weird dick measuring competition, and that's why he made the dick rocket. He also went like 12 miles further than the Virgin guy.
Oh, it was definitely like, well, I'm going to.
It was just barely.
Yeah.
Jesus.
12 miles sounds like a decent amount, but not in the lengths we're talking here.
No.
Yeah.
I think that they went like 50 and 62 miles respectively.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine that you have so much fuck you money, like such an unbelievable amount of fuck you money, that not only can you launch yourself into space for fun, but also if your money, the money you have, was stacked in dollar bills, it would be taller than how far into orbit you went.
Yep.
Like if Bezos' monies were in dollars,
that's fucking
stacked on
crazy.
top of each other, it would be higher than his orbit was today.
But also, I'm just thinking about the fact that they were in there for 10 minutes. Like, have you ever been to an amusement park and you wait in line for a roller coaster for like 3 hours and it's so hot and you're dying and now you have to pee, but you're like almost there. It's just a fucking nightmare. And then you get on the roller coaster and it lasts for like 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And by the end of it, you're like, are you serious? I mean, that was awesome, but that was like nothing, like a blip of a second compared to how long I waited for this. Imagine going to fucking space for 10 minutes. Are you kidding me? Jesus.
Ludacris and Tyrese went to space in a fucking Fiero in the last Fast and the Furious movie, and way more time up there than Bezos ever did. So,
well, they're better than him.
Money doesn't mean anything.
No.
Yeah, sometimes it just
family
takes
means
ingenuity
everything.
and family in order to get into space. They got to hang out at the International Space Station.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you really want a dick measuring contest, just going 12 miles higher into lower orbit than the other guy isn't saying shit. If you just like say in media that that's what you're doing, and then you just fuck you into like higher orbit, and then you're like fucking wings, bitch, and then and extra rockets pop out, and then you just fly the International Space Station and just give them still warm McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's the biggest like mic drop moment in space history.
Definitely.
And nope, played it safe. Or at the very best, he could have delivered an Amazon package to the International Space Station, but delivered it to the wrong door.
Yep.
And so it just floated there with nobody ever knowing that it got delivered properly.
He took a picture of it and sent it to them. Was your delivery acceptable?
Like fucking China satellite comes by and just ganks it when nobody's looking.
That would be amazing.
I'm curious, if you had the money to just not like develop like what it was, a Blue Origin,
yeah,
which is a prequel to the Blue Man Group.
Blue Origin.
Blue Origin, yeah.
Terrifying, honestly. Even more scary.
Nobody needs a Blue Man Group prequel. Just blue babies being born.
So upsetting.
So upsetting. And he's like, Blue Origin, cool. If not making your own launch company to like make your own ships, but just paying Jeff Bezos, like, what is it, $3 million or whatever the fuck it is, to launch yourself into space. Would you ever have any want or desire to do that?
For 10 minutes? No.
No?
No, not for 10 minutes. I can't.
I keep thinking that the movie Apollo 13, there was a thing called the Vomit Comet, and it was a plane that went into like the bottom end of low orbit, and that creates weightlessness, and that's how they filmed a lot of the weightlessness scenes in Apollo 13, is they took the actors up and they were able to go into a dive from the low orbit area that was able to simulate weightlessness.
Right.
And I'm thinking, like, that's gotta be at a discount compared to the Blue Origin. Like, that's gotta be so much cheaper.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, why not just do that? And if you want to simulate, like, being in space, you can do that for, like, probably, like, $250K.
Do they still have that space simulator that they had at, like, Disney World? Do you remember that?
I don't know.
I remember because I went on it with my parents when they took me to Disney World when I was 14. And my mom had such a shitty time. Like, it fucked her up so badly. She went and puked in a trash can afterwards. And then it, like, ruined her whole day. So I think they got rid of it after a while because so many people were vomiting.
Well, so many people that were just, like, so upset that they'll never be astronauts.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, like, I failed the space program.
Oh, no.
They should have sold that shirt there. Be like, I failed the space program. Like, if you puke, then you just get the shirt.
That would be amazing, actually. It would
Yeah.
make you feel a lot better.
Be like, I mean, I've got this kitschy shirt to show off. So.
Is space camp still a thing? Do you remember being a kid and wanting to go to space camp so badly?
I think every kid ever wanted to go to space camp. It is a thing.
That's all I wanted.
It's still a thing. And I still want to go.
Yeah,
So
I do too.
I'm, as an adult man.
I desperately do. Have I ever talked about the Barefoot Contessa on this podcast?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, you know that I have a vendetta against the Barefoot Contessa.
I worry about the board that you've created with yarn and push pins.
With her face in the middle of it and her husband, Jeffrey, on the other side.
And also that you apparently know her like day-to-day stops that she makes. So that's...
She's just roaming around the Hamptons in the farmers markets, as always.
Just be like, that's a good tomato, just over and over.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
But so the reason that I don't like her, as much as I want to so badly, because everything about her is what I want. But the reason that I don't like her is because this kid who was like 11 or 12 was in the Make-A-Wish program and was like, all I want to do is cook with Ina Garten. That's like all I want. I don't even need to be on the show or anything. I just want to cook with her for like an hour because she's my hero. And Ina Garten was like, no, I do not want to do that.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, she did not want to do it. She turned it down. And she, of course, got a ton of bad press because when that, I mean, come on. And so then when she got the bad press, she was like, oh, no, I didn't mean no. I didn't understand. Like, I would love it. You come to my house. Like, let's do this properly. You can spend a whole day with me. And he was like, fuck off. I'm going to space camp now.
That's amazing.
I know. And he went to space camp.
And you know what? Had a way better time than he ever would have with the Barefoot Contessa. So
That sucks so badly, though.
I need to think like about who maybe gets the most Make-A-Wish like offers, like kids that want to meet them and stuff, like
Yeah, I'm sure like right now it's probably Avengers
or The Rock.
or
The Rock is probably way up there for sure. And you know, The Rock is apparently like genuinely actually a really sweet guy.
Yeah.
From what all I've understood. What if you're like the one kid that because he's like the richest man in the world and went to space is now like 4 or 5, so you don't know any better, and you're just like, I'm gonna die. I want to meet Jeffrey Bezos. And then you're the parents of that kid being like, no, you don't want to meet Lex Luthor in real life. You don't want that. And you have to try to like subtly push your kid away from meeting the soul-sucking vampire of the world that is Jeffrey Bezos.
The parents are like, what are we supposed to say to our friends at the next socialist meetup? They're going to be so pissed at us. We're going to be kicked out.
Right. The Socialist Party members and their kid is just like, I love how efficient Amazon is. I want to meet Jeffrey Bezos.
I want to touch his shiny bald head.
Oh, no.
His brother also looks like an evil villain, which I didn't realize until today when I saw their very creepy space picture. His brother looks so much like him. Very shiny bald head, very evil eye look.
I did notice that there was actually like a jumpsuit situation with their like little logo on the side.
Yeah.
And I think what I want to do for Halloween one year, if not this year, maybe down the line when we're a little bit more listened to so that we can get a contingency of 30 to 100 people that will wear bald caps and the blue jumpsuits with the little logo on the side and be a gaggle of Bezoses.
Oh my God, please.
That can just be going like on a bar crawl, a Bezos bar crawl, and we just do it like
bar crawl.
The Bezos bar crawl would be fucking amazing.
That would be so fun until we all remember that we're poor and we have to stop bar crawling at like 6:15 p.m.
Everybody blows their load on the first place and gets just a bunch of really high-end mixology cocktails and stuff. Okay, that'll be like $60 for this one drink, and you're like, fuck, I brought $80.
Right.
Like I spent 60 of my $80 on this one drink. All the poor Bezoses.
Poor Bezos. The poor Bezos bar crawl. Wait, this is amazing.
This needs to happen.
This is an incredible time.
This is a call to arms of all of our poor friends that can wear a bald cap. So our friends with extensive amounts of hair might be a little bit too much for you.
Or money.
Or money.
We need more friends with money. I feel like all of our friends would want to go on the poor Bezos bar crawl.
Yeah, I think we're doing this wrong and shitting on Jeffrey Bezos. We should be just like, you know what? He gets a lot of crap, but you know, he gets stuff done too.
He sure does.
Really just kiss, 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 kiss.
I don't think this show's going to get sponsored by Amazon.
No, probably not. Also, like our version of like rich, well-off friends is so different than the sphere that is Bezos. Like our well-off friends are friends that make high 5 figures. You know, like if you're making like 85K a year, we're like, good for you.
Good for you.
Wow. Well done. You know, that's like really impressive. 85K a year, I think is probably the cost of like one shoelace in one pair of shoes that Jeffrey Bezos owns.
Yep.
He wouldn't even know what that looked like if you put it in front of him.
Not even at all.
Yeah. It's like, what is this fucking spare change in front of me? Like a middle class person's entire yearly income. Just, ew.
Oh no. It's so true.
It's so true.
Do you feel like Jeff Bezos kicked everyone out of the dick rocket after they came back to Earth, just so he could like A, do like the Tiger Woods fist pump kind of thing for a while, and then B, jerk off?
I think he jerked off on the way up.
No.
Like, I think he had everybody sign an NDS, and then when it was like halfway to its highest height in low orbit, Jeff Bezos pulled his pants down, pulled out his dick, and just started screaming, "I own you."
Yeah.
As he like jerked off in front of everyone, including his brother. His brother? Yeah, and his brother's just like, "Yes, Mr. Bezos."
And that elderly woman who was like the oldest woman to ever be in space, who's like 82.
Yep. And Jeff Bezos just took turns looking them all dead in the eye as he slowly jerked his second bald head.
No, mini Jeff.
Just mad dogging them, just like really digging into their soul with his gaze. Just get in there, and just right when they reached the pinnacle of their trip and started falling back to Earth is when he climaxed.
Yep.
And because of the drop down and the lower gravity, the sperm just
like
sat
floating away,
floated in the air briefly.
That sounds so awful. What if it floated over to you? I'd be so upset.
And Jeff Bezos just with one shaking finger put it up to his lips and went, "Shh."
Oh no. Do you feel like every time Jeff Bezos comes, he says, "I am a golden god"? I feel like he does, and I feel like if anyone from Almost Famous knew that, they would be really, really, really upset. Kind of like when what's-his-face, Paul Ryan, said that his favorite band was Rage Against the Machine.
And they said, you are the machine. Yeah.
That was such a great day. I wonder if he still listens to them, or if he was just like, they don't get it.
Well, that's like when, I think it was Kim Kardashian wore a Slayer t-shirt, and in response, one of the members of Slayer wore a Kill Kim Kardashian t-shirt on stage.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, just like, fuck you. You don't listen to Slayer. Fuck off.
What if she did, though? What if she was like a huge Slayer fan?
That would be amazing if it's just like, and reality show, okay, bye, night. Get in the car and just, just going.
Kim Kardashian is like, I really resonated when they said that it's raining blood. Because that's what it feels like when I get my vampire facials. It's a terrible Kim Kardashian impression. Really bad. I don't know. I was going for vocal fry, but I think I'm just not good at impressions.
You've got more of like a Anna Faris doing a rich girl voice kind of vibe.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'll hone my skills for the next one, because I'm sure that one of these minor upsets will be a Kardashian themed one if I had to guess.
Oh God, no. The thing is that I don't want that, but you're so right.
I know.
100% correct.
So I got to sharpen my skills, and then that way the listeners will be like able to watch my progression as I get better at my Kardashian impression.
Well, like when Kim, because like her and Kanye are split now, right? Is that the thing?
Yes, I think so.
She dates like another rapper, and then Kanye puts out an entire album just shitting on the rapper that she's dating now. And then we're like, we have to talk about this.
Yeah. We could have talked today about Kourtney Kardashian dating Travis Barker, because that is buck wild. And apparently they're like maybe pregnant.
The problem is I just learned of that today, and I'm just not ready yet. Like I need time to incubate that a little bit, marinate on it before we move forward with the talking about it.
See, if you had 10 minutes in space, I think you would come back feeling pretty good about it, feeling pretty centered.
No, you think I would, except there'd be like Jeff Bezos jism like floating in my eye line for most of the trip back. And I would just be haunted by it.
Everyone was just had their eyes closed with a single tear coming down.
They walked out of the dick rocket and just like no words, didn't talk to anyone, just kind of went and to their own personal spaces and wept.
Well, because you know that there's some sort of drone like following them around and listening to everything that they say to make sure that they like kept up with their NDA. You know this.
Jeff Bezos is like, all of your family is working as a stock person in one of my warehouses, and unless you don't say anything, they will stay there.
And never go to the bathroom.
They have a 5-minute break for the whole day.
No, Jeff Bezos.
Charlene.
Is that his evil-looking brother's wife's name or something?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to assume it's Charlene. That sounds right.
The 18-year-old's little girlfriend.
Yeah, right.
Charlene.
Are there any 18-year-olds named Charlene?
I feel like there's got to be somebody, like some like rockabilly couple definitely named their kid Charlene.
Okay.
Like it's still out there.
So skipped Jolene, which seems like the perfect choice, and just went, nope, Charlene.
I think Charlene's are still around. Any Charlene's, go ahead and sound off
Yeah,
in the
like
comments.
Susan's continue to fuck off, but Charlene's, we want to hear from you. We're
Susan's either
excited.
get out of here or show us them titties, girl. You know the rules.
Those are the wages. That's the dues to listen to our show. If you're a Susan, is you got to dump them bad boys out. Send us a titty pic on our hotline number.
Or get the fuck out of
Get
here.
the fuck out of here, Susan.
God damn it.
You know what you did.
You know what? I think it's actually time for us to get the fuck out of here.
I think it is time. So
Everyone's like, yeah, true. It was. 20
yet again,
minutes
we
ago.
solve another major riddle in the world with Jeff Bezos' dick rocket.
Yep. And we came up with the greatest event of all time, the Jeff Bezos bar crawl, which I love. Because have you seen that there's a trend right now that people are, like, especially girls, are doing like their bachelorette party bar crawl or something like that and making all of their friends dress like Adam Sandler?
That's
where he
amazing.
wears like the giant shorts that go all the way, like Kevin Smith down to like the mid calf and a big, huge t-shirt.
I just want a
I feel
bunch
like
of
Jeff
blue
Bezos bar
jumpsuit Jeff
crawls out there.
Bezoses. Yeah, like I need tell you what, like if we get to a level of celebrity where we can make shit like this happen, that will be one of the first events that we'll do is a poor
I feel
Jeff
like that will be
Bezos.
the first.
Poor Jeff Bezos Blue Origin bar crawl.
Amazing.
Blue jumpsuits and bald caps, and that's all you need.
That's it.
Fuck, we'll even make patches with the deeply upsetting name on it with like a similar but not able to be sued about it logo to Blue Origin,
Please.
and we give them to people to put on their jumpsuits.
Amazing. Amazing.
I need that.
I do too.
I need that in my life.
If we do one, we'll send pictures, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
So,
But that about wraps it up for another minor upset. We will see you next week for a regularly scheduled Deeply Upsetting. If you think of any questions, you know how to send them. And so thank you so much. For another one, I'm Amy Bogarde.
I'm Mike the Hobbit.
Bye.
GUIPodcast.com.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.